Hey there. I think you and I were at the same club a few weeks ago. And I think you may have left your coat there. I brought it with me to return it to you. If you would invite me in. Where is it? In my car. Which I also forgot to bring. I'm sorry. It has been a long day and my memory is just there, you know? But if you let me wait inside, I can call my friend and have them bring it to us. Deal? Because it's freezing out here. See this suit? This is not a suit for standing around in the cold. This is a suit for taking off as soon as you can, if you catch my meaning. Wow, tough crowd. But seriously, it's freezing out here. There's a bit of smudge on your face. If you'd just let me reach up and... Shit, that hurt. Who actually has a quality crucifix in this day and age? Yes, I'm a vampire. Gold star for you. We need to talk. Inside. You can keep your crucifix pointed at me if you want, but I need you to hear me out. If you refuse, the next thing you hear will be a Molotov cocktail through your window. Little known fact, cries for help count as invitations. I knew you'd see reason. Now, I'll just keep my social distance and you'll hold your crucifix, and we'll both get through this. Nice place. Okay, let me explain myself and what I'm doing here, and maybe you'll see things my way. Deal? Let's start at the beginning. I'm a vampire, but you know that already. As such, I need blood to survive, ideally human. Usually, I get plenty by hitting up the local nightclubs. I show little skin, get them drooling, lead them somewhere private. Then a bit of hypnosis and feeding time. And if I took too much and they wake up tired, they just assume we partied a little too hard. It's a great system, and it's kept me fed for decades. Until you showed up. Let me explain. I was at Poe's Inkwell 2 weeks ago, same as you. You looked cute, and I was hungry, so I put the moves on you. You responded pretty well. I must be your type or something. So I took you up to the roof and chowed down. Your blood was amazing. I've been drinking blood for centuries, and your blood outshone everything and everyone I ever fed on. I went a little nuts. Took way more than I usually do. Yeah, now you're starting to remember. I left you on the roof and went home, but I just couldn't forget about your blood. Days went by, then a week, and I couldn't stop thinking about how you tasted. The other blood I drank just felt dull, and I was still hungry afterwards. Blood, sleep, sex, I didn't want any of them. I wanted you. I needed you. So I called in a favor and tracked you down. But before I came here, I needed to figure out what happened before I made other stupid mistakes. You know how your mother's been really into genealogy lately? I didn't lay a finger on her, I swear. All I did was hypnotize her into thinking I was your old friend from high school, visiting town. She said you should call her more, by the way. She showed me her family charts, and I made some notes. Turns out, vampires have put a lot of study into figuring out what makes a human's blood better or worse. Does it involve race, age, intellect, fitness, or something else? Ask a dozen vampires and you'll get a dozen answers. but heredity has at least something to do with it. So, some scholar vampires keep track of certain bloodlines we know to be high quality. The best of the best are called reserve bloodlines, like with wine. Oh, yeah, that's you. I sent those notes to some experts, and by some miracle, your mother and father are from 2 different reserve bloodlines, but we had no clue that their families existed. We had to trace it back a few generations to find it, where they split off from normal family trees. Normally, the children of 2 reserve taste mediocre or terrible. I mean, chocolate is good and steak is good, but nobody puts chocolate sauce on their steak. But your blood, by some other miracle, is the best of both worlds. A double reserve. Something we thought impossible. Now, when we find a reserve person, the smart thing to do is work your way up to them. First feeding, you may take a few bites, then drink someone more normal to balance it out. Then a higher concentration next time. Just going whole hog and drinking a new reserve blood straight is a pretty stupid move, because that much potent blood can have side effects if you're not ready for them. Yeah, doing that with a double reserve would be extra stupid. But here I am, shaking like a heroin addict, which is why I need your blood. Look, I don't care what you want in exchange. Money won't be a problem. Influence, you wouldn't believe the kind of friends in high places we vampires have. Pleasure, I don't care what kind of kinky, depraved shit you're into, so long as I get my blood afterwards. And the longer I sit here, the less scary that crucifix in your hand looks. I would gladly take some burns if it means this feeling can go away. You've got something in mind. All right, then. I'm in no position to negotiate. Let's hear it. I have so many questions, but I don't know if I want to answer them. Why on earth do you own a French butler outfit in my size? Really? When I talked to you at the club, I hoped you had some more exotic taste than this. And I say my size in a relative term. Look at this neckline. I'm jumping 2 jacks away from popping this shirt right now. And these trousers barely cover my ass before I bend over. And the really depressing part, I can't tell if it's international or not. I don't care what your friends say. French butler is entry-level fetish stuff. They'd laugh at you at the kind of parties I attend. Hey, what's that in your hand? Why do you have a knife and... Hey, be careful with that. Other people need that blood. A shot glass? What are you doing? A good faith payment? You mean... I can... just take this now? Oh, hell yes, I needed that. You're definitely the person I've been searching for. You totally didn't have to do that, so thank you. No, that's not enough to cure me, but at least I can think straight for the next day or 2. But is your finger still bleeding? I can help. I'm serious. Vampire saliva is a natural coagulant. It will stop the bleeding way faster than normal. I'll show you, if you let me. Thank you. Now, just hold out your finger. Even better from the source. But that should stop the bleeding just fine. And now that I can hear myself think, it's time to hold up my end of the bargain. Just let me get into character first. Good evening, Master. I do apologize for the lateness of the hour, but I am here and at your service. How may I serve you first? Dinner? Very well. I shall see what I can whip up. Dinner is ready, Master. You thought I was joking. Come here. I am here in the dining room. Voila! Braised roast beef, a spinach salad, and brown rice. All very tasty and high in iron. The perfect meal for someone soon to donate blood. Well, I did not make this food for you to stare at it. Sit down, have some. Surely you are starving, no? And the moment of truth. What do you think? The best you ever had. You flatter me, Master. Especially since it has been a while since I have cooked for anyone. It's a rather complicated story. Well, if you insist. My family was nobility in France many years ago. I liked all the usual noble things, but something about cooking fascinated me. The idea of taking so many different ingredients and making them into something completely different and new. But Mother didn't approve, because that was peasants' work. But it didn't stop me. When I finished my studies each day, I would sneak into the kitchens, find a stool or chair in the corner, and just watch the cook and servants work. I stayed out of their way, and they tolerated my countless questions. Sometimes they would even let me help with simple tasks. It was a nice life, yes. But it couldn't last. When the revolution began, a mob of villagers came to our chateau. Father and Mother shoved me out of the back door and told me to flee. I escaped over the border to Italy and found a farmer willing to take me in, for odd jobs, but I never saw my family again. Now I became a vampire. Now that's a story for another time, I'm afraid. I still need to clean everything. I shall get back to work tout suite. Ah, Master. I expected you to be in the living room watching Netflix. Is something the matter? You wanted to see how I was doing? All is well. The kitchen is taken care of, so all that remains is the dining room. I took care of the rest of the house while the food was cooking. No, I haven't cleared the floor yet. You always clean the floor last in case you drop things onto it. Oh! What are you doing? Is this some kind of punishment? Oh, now I get it. I was starting to think you were weird for not doing some things like this. Don't stop, Master. Mon Dieu. Yes, please, more. Punish me. Don't ask for what. We will be here all night. When you're centuries old, you'll understand. Whew, that was unexpected. Not unwanted by the end, but unexpected. But is that really all you want? I mean, I'm already wearing this ridiculous outfit. Stopping now would be like going to Disneyland just to see the entrance. Suit yourself, Master. But now, I want what's mine. You just spanked me on the table, and now you're nervous? Come now, I already drank your blood once, and you barely noticed. Just lean over the table so I can reach you. There we go, finally, after 2 weeks of hell. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was afraid I'd forget what not being hungry felt like. You saved my life, relatively speaking. No, it's not quite over. The best way to break an addiction like this is to taper down how much blood your intake is. Mix it up with regular people, that kind of thing. Eventually, I'll be able to feed on you without side effects. I'm glad you liked my cooking. You can go sit down if you want. I can clean this up and see myself out. We'll probably have to do this again in a week or two, but I wouldn't mind doing this again if you're up for it. Oui, but of course, Master.